one of the things I just wanted to mention to the board real quick is set through a meeting the last couple of days talking about budget. The State Department is giving guidance, as well as the OSSBA is giving guidance for the possible budget shortfall for 2021 and 2022 school years. And we're in the process of studying that. And we will continue to, as we get more information, we will bring that to your attention and keep you updated. Right now, they're telling us a possible 3% cut for this next year, which would equate to $82,000 for Colcord Public Schools in our state aid in July allocation. And they also mentioned that it possibly could be as high as 5%, which would be $136,000. But there also is still a chance that the state may be able to use stimulus money to fill that gap. So, we'll watch that really closely, and we'll see what happens there. There was also some legislative work these last week or two. A couple of bills got signed to help fill the gap through April. We did get our allocation this month, and it was a full state aid allocation. But the other third bill would have to be enacted and signed in order for May and June to be fully funded to finish out the fiscal year. So we hope that happens. The state has decided that March the 12th is the last day to count attendance as far as membership goes. And our final membership was 300 elementary students, 133 middle school, 182 at the high school, for a total of 615. And we have 7 out-of-state students for a total of 622. We have enrolled 2 more students last week. They won't count on this year's ADM, but they will be with us next year. We've enrolled a total of 683 students at least have attended one day this school year. So that's my report. I'm going to keep it brief, and we'll keep moving. Are there any questions? Okay, very good. All right, we're going to move to item number 5, the consent agenda. All of the following items, which concern reports and items of routine nature normally approved at a board meeting, will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and the approval of the following items. A, minutes of the board meeting regular, March 12, 2020. B, Treasurers and Activity Fund Clerk's reports for March 2020. C, appropriations as listed on the agenda. There's a total of $77,062.43 for general fund appropriations and $18,086.67 for child nutrition appropriations. Part D is POs over 1,000 as listed, and Part E is encumbrances for board approval, which consists of payroll. Are there any questions by the board?
Could you go through the $1,000 stuff?
Sure can, David. The POs over 1,000 listed, the first 2, 407 and 408, are Title I money. It's money we had left over that was unappropriated. We are electing to purchase Chromebooks with those supplies. So those expenditures, $6,664 and $2,475.20 as the license for 35 Chromebooks, I believe. And then the 412 IXL Learning, the $3,195, that is going to be the licenses for the $30,011 purchase. Is going to be 135 Chromebooks. These Chromebooks are basically COVID-19 management books that we want to purchase for virtual learning for this following year, that if we start the school year with distance learning, we're going to need additional devices and hotspots. And so we're electing to use some of our federal monies as well as our textbook money. That $30,000 is the textbook allocation that we had this year. All 3 principals have elected to purchase Chromebooks with them instead of buy curriculum. And the state has in their last board meeting, issued a proclamation, a resolution that is an allowable expenditure, that we can basically use our textbook money for anything we'd like. And then we've got a couple of increases, in NEO, orthopedics and rehabilitation. We had to increase by $710.48 in order to accommodate paying that bill, as well as Mike Green, our auditor, $250 additionally to pay for his audit. Are there any questions on the POs over 1,000? Okay, if there's no more questions, that we entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes, sir.
You had mentioned, how many meals have we been serving? I know that you had mentioned that to me yesterday.
Yes, sir. We've been serving around 275 a day average.
Wow.
That's 275 breakfasts and 275 lunches.
Thank the ladies for doing all that. And everyone. We appreciate that so much.
They've been working really hard, doing a great job, and it's a really excellent meal that the kids are receiving as well.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
Do you have a motion to approve consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mike Crawford.
Second, David.
Second by David Ramsey. Billy
Yes.
Jones, how do you vote? Yes.
No.
Donnie Craighead? Yes. Say it again, Donnie, you're muted.
Yes.
Thank you. Ben King, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries for consent agenda. All right, line item number 6. Motion and vote to accept the resignation of Jill Waltman as Title I Teacher's Assistant.
I make a motion to accept the resignation.
Motion by Billy Jones. Do I have a second?
Donnie Craighead seconds.
Donnie Craighead seconds. How do you vote, Mike Wofford?
Yes.
David Ramsey?
Yes.
Ben King?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to line item 7. Motion and vote to accept the resignation of Curtis Waltman as 21st Century Program Director, as well as any other resignations received after the posting of the agenda.
I make a motion to accept the resignation of Curtis Waltman.
Motion by Donnie Craighead. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ben King. How do you vote, David Ramsey?
Yes.
Billy Jones?
Yes.
Mike Wofford?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to line item 8. Motion and vote to approve OSSBA proposed policy BE-R2. This is a Board of Education meetings, teleconference, or video conference regulations. This is it's a new policy developed specifically for this pandemic that allows board meetings to meet just exactly the way we are, and we can approve it at the same meeting. And it will last until November the 15th, 2020, or till the governor declaring the state of emergency to be terminated, whichever comes first. I would recommend to the board that we would approve this. Do we have a motion, or do we need discussion?
I make a motion to accept it.
Motion by Billy, second.
I'll second.
Ben, second. How do you vote, Mike Wofford?
Yes.
David Ramsey?
Yes.
Donnie Craighead?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, line item 9, discussion, motion, and vote to approve the summer driver's education program. You know, I put this line item on here in the hopes that we will still get to conduct driver's ed at some point. It may be as late as July, but we have already filed our paperwork to the state, and if that is able to happen, we would still need to approve it at our board meeting. So it would be our administration recommendation to the board to approve. Any discussion?
Make a motion to approve the summer driver's education program.
Motion by Mike Wofford, second.
Yes.
Donnie Craighead seconds. How do you vote, Ben King?
Yes.
David Ramsey?
Yes.
Billy Jones?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. All right. Line item 10, motion and vote to enter into executive session to discuss the following. A, job performance and employment of athletic director, middle school principal Terrell Denny. B, job performance and employment of special ed director and elementary dean of students Rebecca Ferris. C, job performance and employment of high school principal Sandy Shackelford. D, job performance and employment of elementary principal Misty Winfield. And E, job performance and employment of federal programs director / virtual administrator Remington Rogers. Executive session authority 25 Oklahoma statute 307B1 and 3. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion at 6:45. We enter into executive session.
Ben King motions. We have a second.
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 Seconds. David, how do you vote?
Yes.
Billy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
All right. As the motion carries, 6:45, we'll enter into executive session.
is on. Should be ready to go. Go ahead.
Okay, line item 11, motion and vote to acknowledge the board's return from executive session. Do I have a motion? Hold on just a second before we make a motion. Okay, had to get the minutes clerk back ready to go, so my apologies. We have a motion to acknowledge the board's return from executive session.
I'll make the motion the board returns from executive session.
Motion by Ben King, second.
Michael, second.
Thank you, Mike Walford. Billy, how do you vote?
Yes.
David Ramsey?
Yes.
Donnie Craighead?
Yes.
Line item 12, board's clerk's statement of executive session minutes. Mr. Craighead?
Executive session date 4/16/2020. Entered into executive session at 18:45. Returned from executive session at 18:51. Members present: Mike Wofford, Ben King, Donnie Craighead, Billy Jones, David Ramsey. Items discussed: job performance and employment of athletic director, middle school principal Terrell Denny. Job performance and employment of special education director, elementary dean of students Rebecca Ferris. Job performance and employment of high school principal Sandy Shackelford. Job performance and employment of elementary principal Misty Winfield. Job performance and employment of federal programs director, virtual administrator Remington Rogers. Executive session 25, Oklahoma statute 307. No action taken.
Thank you, Mr. Craighead. Number 13, discuss, make recommendations, or take action concerning the reemployment of Terrell Denny as athletic director and middle school principal for the 2020-21 school year. Is there any discussion? Do I have a recommendation? Or excuse me, a motion?
I make a motion to continue with Terrell Denny in his position.
Thank you. Billy Jones makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ben King seconds. How do you vote? Donnie Craighead?
Yes.
David Ramsey?
Yes.
Mike Walford?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 14, discuss, make recommendations, or take action concerning the reemployment of Rebecca Ferris as special education director and elementary dean of students for the 2020-2021 school year.
Make a motion for rehire of Rebecca Ferris.
Motion by Donnie Craighead. Do we have a second?
Second by Mike.
Mike Wofford seconds. Ben King, how do you vote?
Yes.
Billy Jones?
Yes.
David Ramsey?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 15, discuss, make a recommendations, or take action concerning the reemployment of Sandy Shackelford as high school principal for the 2020-2021 school year.
I make a motion we rehire Sandy Shackelford as high school principal.
Motion by Mike Wofford.
Yes.
Who's that again?
Second.
Donnie Craighead seconds. Ben King, how do you vote?
Yes.
Billy Jones?
Yes.
David Ramsey?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 16, discuss, make recommendations, or take action concerning the reemployment of Misty Winfield as elementary principal for the 2020-2021 school year.
I make a motion we rehire Misty Winfield as elementary principal.
Thank you, Ben King. A second?
Second.
I'll second.
David Ramsey
David.
seconds. How do you vote? Mike Wofford,
Yes.
Donnie Craighead,
Yes.
Billy Jones.
Yes.
All right. Number 17, discuss, make recommendations, take actions concerning the reemployment of Remington Rogers as Federal Programs Director / Virtual Administrator for the 2020-2021 school year.
I make a motion we rehire Remington Rogers as Federal Programs Director and Virtual Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. King. Makes a motion to rehire Remington Rogers. Do I have a second?
A second.
Billy Jones seconds. How do you vote? David Ramsey,
Yes.
Mike Wofford,
Yes.
and Donnie Craighead.
Yes.
All right. Line item 18, we have a vote to adjourn at 6:56 p.m. Do we have a motion?
I make the motion to adjourn.
Ben King makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second by Mike.
Mike Wofford seconds. How do you vote, Donnie Craighead?
Yes.
David Ramsey,
Yes.
Billy Jones.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you all. Everyone have a nice evening.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Thank you, everybody.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you.